Morning, Nick Collier here, and today we're going to work on the more of the tracer attachment. We're going to build the little bracket over the top of that, and then hopefully get further on into that process and take us to the next step to completing that. So stick with me, and hey, let's have some fun.
Okay, the next stage of this whole operation is coming up with a platform that I can attach a flat piece of material to rather than the round piece with this cone. And I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to start here with a piece of flat bar stock and then draw out some kind of an arch here maybe, and round this off and put a slot in here and then put two screws or two bolts in here to hold that in place. And then when I'm not using it, I'll just rotate it around and it'll sit back here out of the way. So I think that's the first step in this next part.
Okay, using the little Harbor Freight bandsaw that I've had for 25 years. And we'll just go ahead and cut those two plates off. While that one's cutting, I think I'll go over and grind this one down. I don't know, it's probably just part of my obsessive compulsive nature, but you know, hey, I want to square these up. That saw never quite gets everything just about right, and so I'm going to just kiss the tops of those edges and square these plates up. Nick Collier here again, and it's a cool autumn day on a Sunday, and I'm back up here to finish making these brackets for the tracer attachment. And I think what I'm going to do, probably just drill a hole and come in with a mill bit and get a little bit of a radius on that that edge or that corner right there, and then bring the rest of this around, probably with just the bandsaw or something like that. So probably we're going to drop it in. We put a couple of parallels in here. We'll drop our piece in. And since we went in and milled those edges, this thing's going to hold good and solid, so we don't have to worry about it too much. Come in here. We'll just go ahead and use this mill bit. Bring it down. Well, that's as far as it goes. All right, let's take the table up. And since both of these pieces of metal are about the same, I'm going to bring this right out to the edge. And maybe even square it up with the edge of the vise. Tap it down a little bit. Get it to hold a little better. Okay, let's get it out so this hammer can really wang on it. That side's good. This side's good now. Okay, so take it back in. Drop our bit down. Just kind of get ourselves set up so that I know that the radius is going to be right about there. Let's see if I can, is this thing on fast spin? No, of course not. That looks pretty good. And once again, we're just eyeballing it. We're not going for super accurate here. Just going to want to hit the line. And that looks pretty good. So I'm going to just lock everything in place so it doesn't move. Pull the mill bit out. And drill a couple holes too first in order to make a clearance so that the mill bit can hang in there. Now we got to drop it all the way back down again. Get ourselves a center drill. Turn our converter on, crank up the mill, and go ahead and punch ourselves a hole through this thing. All right, now we just we've cut some lines or drawn some lines. Now we'll just kind of come in and catch the inside of that ink line. And that should just walk us right into the Okay, that saw did okay, but it didn't give us nice square edges. And let's see if we can square up those edges a little bit. Using our other center or our center as our guide, we're setting this up on top of here. We're going to drill 2 holes in here, probably back in this section right here a little bit, although out here wouldn't be a bad idea. We could probably get a little short hole in there
with a little 1/4 inch bolt or something like that. Anyhow, maybe one here and one here. And then we're going to come out and cut a slot out here so that the whatever we hook up to this can move back and forth and give us that minor adjustments. So I think the first thing we want to do is go ahead and drill our holes. Okay, so we cut the other one, and it's all set up and ready to go. We still got to cut our little groove in here so that we can slide our masters back and forth. But at this point, what I want to do is find the center of this piece here, which is going to be, well, it changes. So we'll go right to the center point. Maybe what we do is, let's just find the point, or the center point this direction first. There it is. And then take our measurement right at that center point and find center on that. So we've got 184, so half of that would be half 40, and that should give us center. Yep, on the money. So we're going to set these aside, except for the center. We're going to come in until we touch, or until we get to that center point. And I think that's going to be it right about there. Maybe a little bit more.
that it? Okay, so now we're looking to drill our holes in the little aluminum block, and because the aluminum block and that other block aren't exactly square, and I wish they were, we're going to have to measure the block, and we're looking at exactly 1 inch, and then take that to halfway, which would be exactly 500 thousandths. And we're going to mark the block and then come in. Now this first hole is going to be pretty easy because it's right there. It's not like we have to adjust for it. We'll drill it and go from there. Okay, now we're going to come back to 0 on the DRO, and that should take us right back to where we were on the metal piece. 2, 1, 4, 0. Okay. Now the only place it's not going to do is this direction, because this direction is a little askew. So I'm just going to go with the center line, and we'll readjust our table. We'll readjust our X direction to fit that. And it's pretty close, maybe 20 or so off. That looks pretty good. Let's see what that'll do. Okay, so we've got our piece bolted onto the platform of the aluminum, and yeah, okay, it's not exactly square, but that's not a big deal because we're square up against the aluminum, and what we're going to do is we're going to cut our slot while it's mounted in the aluminum so that it is square. Now what I'm noticing here is that this is not square, so we're gonna have to shim this out a little bit in order to square it up somehow, because we definitely have to get it square to the T-bar. So let me square it up and I'll be right back. Okay, so we've got our plate in. I don't know if you can see back here, but we used, because we had this little rise here for the T-slot, I put a couple of lathe bits, little, looks like 1/4 inch, maybe
5/16 lathe bits in there to get that squared up to this surface here, so that when we run this table back and forth, we're totally square with the surface of the T bar. So now we basically just drop this thing down and bring it over till it touches the line. And that looks pretty good, I'd say. So then what we'll do is we'll first drill a hole and then come in with a 5/16 mill bit and cut ourselves a 5/16 channel in the steel, maybe 1/2 inch long or something like that. We don't need that much because all the adjustment happens when this is sliding back and forth. And then when you get down to the final adjustments, you gotta, probably gonna adjust it by 25 thousandths or 50 thousandths maybe, but we'll put a 1/2 inch slot in there. Once we've got this done, we'll bring this one up, put it in place, and it'll be in the exact same spot, and then we'll cut a 1/2 inch slot in that one too, and that way, and then we're set. Okay, so for right now, we're gonna remove this, put ourselves a center drill just to get ourselves a hole going so it's nice and square and exactly where we want it. Crank ourselves up and drill a little dent. Drill the hole. Okay, we're all set up on the other side. I've brought my piece in, opposite piece. Okay, here's these little sweethearts in place. And you'll notice that there's our cone right there to catch round stock, and then here's our little slot to catch flat bar with the contour that the tracer will follow over to that one there. Now, of course, these adjusters can go all the way to the end of the slot, and can be up to 3 feet long. But more often than not, I'm guessing we're going to be within a foot or something like that. So we'll move on later.